This is the story of Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards in Marvel Rivals. I am going to catch you up on the story so you can keep playing the game. So welcome to Chapter 1, Reality Check. The story begins where all stories should, with Dr. Reed Richards, known as Mr. Fantastic, standing in his laboratory at the Baxter building. He is examining a strange glowing crystal retrieved by his close friend, Ben Grimm, from Lower Manhattan. Mr. Fantastic had been studying its unique energy signature, believing it could be the key to solving the chaos wrought by the time stream entanglement, which of course is a cataclysmic event that had caused realities to merge and collapse. However, even the most brilliant mind in the universe needed a second opinion sometimes. So for that, Reed turned to the most brilliant woman in any universe, Shuri, the Princess of Wakanda. But see, this is not the Wakanda that you may be familiar with. This is not the Wakanda that Reed Richards has been allies with before. This Wakanda exists in another dimension, where King T'Challa, the Black Panther, had led his people to the stars and built the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. And following the time stream entanglement, Shuri had sent Reed Richards an urgent message indicating a collaboration between their realities. Together, along with the Iron Man Tony Stark, they had designed the time stream reintegration device known as the TRD for short. And this is a theoretical machine capable of restoring fractured realities. However, powering such a device remained an immense challenge for the trio. So they begin their interdimensional voice call, and Shuri answers saying, "You wanted to talk, Dr. Richards?" "Ah, Shuri, I'm glad you got my message." As always, when the Fantastic Four calls, Wakanda answers. Now, Mr. Fantastic wasted no time. He starts explaining his findings on the chronovium crystal. It's this energy-rich material believed to be the byproduct of the time stream entanglement, so it's fairly new. However, something about its structure just wasn't adding up to Mr. Fantastic. Now, Shuri, in her universe, had also been investigating alternate chronovium formations and had her own theories about its potential. So the conversation started to shift towards cataloging fractured realities. Because, you gotta start to figure out what problem you're facing before you could start to find solutions, right? So Reed Richards says, "Hey Shuri, we should start cataloging these universes. Let's list them out. How many do we know of?" And Shuri says, "Hey, over here, by the way, we refer to these universes as chronoverses." And she continues and says that she and her team of scientists over in Wakanda had identified at least one beyond their own. One where Captain America, Steve Rogers, had recently arrived in Wakanda seeking refuge. Now, hearing the name Captain America, Reed Richards paused for a second, because the Captain America he had known had perished, leaving the world to mourn a hero lost too soon. So this notion that another Steve Rogers is out there filled him with a sort of cautious hope. So Shuri continues and says, "Unlike the Captain America that both my father and my brother proudly fought alongside, this Steve Rogers claimed that he had been frozen during World War II and had not been reawakened until the year 2099. So even this Captain America is not even familiar with this Shuri." And upon hearing 2099, Reed Richards' mind immediately raced to another incident. So he says, "That's not the first time I've heard that date mentioned. Our Spider-Man told me that he was visited by one of his alternate reality counterparts, this young woman named Spider-Zero. And she claimed to be from the year 2099 as well and asked for Spider-Man's help in repairing the dimensional nexus point that they call the web of life and destiny." And Shuri starts to nod and she's like, I hear you. And she says, I hear you. Fascinating. Based on Captain America's intel, we also believe that 2099 may be a gathering point for mutants whose home realities have ceased to exist. And also, the Captain Rogers that we're working with, his ally, the Wolverine, claimed that he had resided on a time-displaced island called Krakoa. Now, again, Reed Richards pauses for a moment. He goes, "Oh, what? What?" That is very curious, because our Krakoa vanished without a trace when the time stream entanglement hit us. Could it be possible that that living island in that chronoverse where the Wolverine is from be the one that we had? Shuri responds by agreeing to investigate further, but noted that Wakanda had its own growing concerns, because a mysterious darkness was spreading throughout their star systems, and she had sent the Guardians of the Galaxy to Clintar to investigate this darkness. But the problem is, the whole team disappeared without a trace. She has not heard from them. So in response, King T'Challa and Shuri enlisted Captain America to form a team of trusted allies from across time and space, including Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. And again, Reed Richards. What? He says, Tony Stark told me that Hawkeye and Winter Soldier went missing after an incident at a remote Hydra base. I guess he'll be glad to hear that they made it out alive. So let me take a pause for a moment on the story. Let's step back, okay? Let's step back. If you're getting a little bit lost because they're talking about all these different universes and different iterations of people that you may know, Hawkeye and Winter Soldier were in the Reed Richards universe, which is the present day timeline. They all of a sudden vanished at that Hydra base. Nobody knows what happened. Turns out Captain America, this one that is teaming with Wolverine, that is now at Wakanda, assembling this team, plucked them from that universe to come help him. So then Shuri continues talking about this darkness and says, I fear this darkness is already tainting Wakanda. Even the gods themselves are not safe from its corruptive influence. And Reed Richards nods, acknowledging this, and then he starts to say, well, speaking of gods, another strange thing is the Asgard in my timeline has changed. The world tree, Yggdrasil, has merged with the Golden Realm, creating something entirely new. And they're calling it Isgard. And of course, Loki is already trying to take advantage of the situation. And Shuri smirks and says, well, no surprise there. But the instability wasn't limited to just Asgard. Reed Richards reveals that Doctor Strange had recently returned from the astral plane, where he claimed to have made contact with yet another dimension where powerful deities are locked in an endless war for omnipotence. And Shuri responds by saying, that makes at least 4 confirmed chronoverses. Reed Richards nods and says, and as they continue to collapse and intertwine, they'll likely become even more dependent on each other for survival. Yes, I'm thinking the same thing. That is exactly why my brother chose to pay your world a visit. I hope his delivery prove useful in your efforts. But what? T'Challa came here? When? And Shuri's confident demeanor shifted. He left Wakanda a week ago. I calibrated our cross-dimensional teleporters myself. I am certain he arrived safely in New York City. And then Reed's demeanor changed as well. He starts frowning. Arrived safely, perhaps, but New York City isn't what it used to be. The curse that's locked our city in a permanent nocturnal state has let certain factions take power in the shadows. And Shuri's expression darkened as she whispers, vampires. T'Challa intended to deliver a sample of our heart-shaped herb in hopes of developing a cure. But if you haven't seen him yet, but if he has fallen victim to it, don't worry, Your Majesty. Like you said, we are in this together. When Wakanda calls, the Fantastic Four answers as well. I appreciate that, but I just pray to Orisha that we are not too late, for all our sakes. And that, my rivals, is the end of Chapter 1. And man, this is, I believe, the most impactful story that we've gotten so far. We lay out the chronoverses, we lay out the stakes, and then at the end there, hey, Black Panther may be a vampire right now. We're not sure. It's been a week. He hasn't shown up at the Baxter building. Where's he at? Something tells me we might find out very soon. But this is a great story. Lots of information here. We got references, of course, to Spider-Zero and what's going on over in 2099 in Tokyo with the Master Weaver and such, with Penny Parker, all of them. We got Captain America in 2099 building up that team with Winter Soldier and Hawkeye. We learned that the Captain America from like the present day with the Fantastic Four in New York City and such, their Captain America died recently. The Guardians have gone silent. because they were sent on a mission by Shuri to Clintar to, you know, investigate what's going on with this darkness going throughout that universe. So I like this story a lot. This is a very good story. And now we are 3/4 through the Fantastic Four. We've already done the Human Torch. We've done the Invisible Woman. Right now we just did Mr. Fantastic. And here's the thing. Now we only have the Thing left, Ben Grimm. And I'll tell you this right now. That story is also pretty good. But what did you think of the story? Go down in the comments and let me know. While you're down there, leave a like on the video, please. It would help it get out to more people, helps grow the channel. Of course, I would appreciate that very much. YouTube channel memberships are available if you want to support. Super thanks are available, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. But even though I thank you for watching, you have to remember, you and I, we are rivals till the end. And it doesn't matter if you come to my house, hook me up with an internet connection that is so strong I could talk to people from other dimensions. I am never going to forget that.